Good morning. As usual, I sit here in contemplation prior to turning on the camera. And what I'm contemplating this morning, I've given a title, as I do every morning. Ninth Wave, Discerning My Resistance. Is resistance good or bad? I know I don't like being told what to do, which I guess would not sit well with gurus or those that wish to exercise authority over others. To me, the ninth wave, besides being about unity consciousness and conscious co-creation, is also about learning to trust our own inner guidance. Those gut feelings may be red flags. What is your truth? My truth is this, and hear me, it's my truth. My truth is I don't trust authority very much anymore, and my rational mind tells me I have very good reason not to trust authority. Not in the spiritual world, not in the political world, not very much at all, based on the experience that I've had as a human, or as a spiritual being having my human experience. I've learned that ego manifests in a multitude of ways and in a multitude of people. It's a mirror that reflects back at me in a lot of interactions and interpersonal relationships. Even in the class that I'm doing with Sue. Sue gives us instructions on spiritual practices. Well, I have my own spiritual practice, thank you very much. And I don't like being told to do it differently. Mine evolves, and it changes sometimes from day to day. And I allow that. But it's flowing from my own inner being. It's not being imposed on me from someone else telling me how I should or shouldn't do something. And I find I resist greatly when somebody tells me how to do it, what words to use, how much time to do something, how many repetitions of something should I do. I find myself resisting that a lot. And I ask myself, am I just trying to be obstinate? Am I just being stubborn? And I know I'm stubborn. I'm really stubborn sometimes. I've been stubborn my whole life. Is that good or is that bad? Sometimes I think I've resisted hearing something that I really needed to hear. Maybe I wasn't ready for it. I could rationalize. But certainly later on down the road I came to hear that which I at one time did not want to hear or was not willing to hear. Life flows. And I believe that's what Spirit is trying to teach us, to observe the flow of life. In my case, the flow of my thoughts. To observe my resistance. To discern what it is that I'm resisting. What the message is in the resistance. Resistance isn't always a bad thing. We have a tendency in our mindset, as we're instructed, to be either or in our mentality. It has to either be good or bad, which is why I started with the question, is resistance good or bad? Because that's how we think. We want to put a label on it. Well, sometimes resistance is the most perfect thing possible. It's an absolute necessity to resist something that doesn't feel right in our gut. It's perfectly normal, and if you resist listening to your gut, I think you end up getting hurt. I know I have. In relationships and in other things, when I haven't trusted my gut, when it was resisting something, I've ended up hurting myself or being hurt. That's my observation. I mean, you can go where you want to go with it. You can take it where you want to take it. There are a lot of people in this world still, and it's coming to the surface, that want to be masters, gurus. They want to be the authority. And from their world view, they see everything hierarchical. There's a hierarchy of authority. And the masses are at the bottom, and they don't have any authority. And at the top sits the people with the real knowledge and the real power and the real authority. And I don't like that pyramid shape. It doesn't ride well with me. And yet I do understand that bottom part of the pyramid is where ignorance dwells, where there's not a whole lot of knowledge, and there's not a whole lot of enlightenment, as it were. And I recognize there's truth in that. But by the same token, the spirit that works in me has embedded with me and in me certain principles that are important. Number one is true leadership is about service. And service, to me, doesn't have a price tag on it. You will not find me setting a price for anything that I do. I don't think that way, and that does not go well with me. I see a lot of spiritual teachers charging a lot of money for enlightenment. And I see a lot of people paying that money to become enlightened. And I think that there's something not quite right there. To me, it's a red flag. It's not about money, folks. And when spiritual things are made to be about money, there's a part of me that naturally resists, because I have freely received the wisdom that I've been given, the insights that I've gained, any gifts that I'm able to use. I don't put a price tag on it. Spirit has encouraged me over the past few years especially to be more willing than I used to be to accept gifts. But I don't think that I'd ever be able to say, well, I will do it for this amount of money. That just rubs me totally the wrong way. And it's not a spirit that feels good in me. The concept of that does not land well in my soul. And more than anything else in the whole wide world, if I can accomplish anything, it's to encourage people to become loving servants. And that is the true leadership that the world needs. Not those that want to tell others what to do or how to do it, but those who are willing to set an example of not being greedy, of not even appearing to be chasing the almighty dollar, which is very much not almighty anymore, as well it should be. It's tumbling, as well it should. The monetary system is being exposed as a fraud and corruption, as well it should. People are waking up, as well we should. And I see the resistance that's going on in the world as a wonderful thing, because it's a sign to me of awakening. It's a sign to me of divine justice, that people are taking back their power, and it's going to manifest various ways of righting some of the wrongs that we've long suffered at the hands of those who want to be our authority figures. Having said that, there's another part of me that sees the innocence and the beauty and the divinity even in those who would exercise authority over others, over me and others. They're cut from the same cloth I am, and there's a part of me that they represent. That if I was willing to only listen to my ego and be out for number one, and see myself as separate or superior, and seeing yourself as superior is seeing yourself as separate. A lot of people from the East call themselves masters, and we have a lot of masters even here in the West, based on Eastern philosophies and stuff like that. There's a resistance to me when I hear that. I'm not a master, I'm a servant. And if I master anything, I master my own ego. And say, wait a minute. The only authority you have is over you. The only authority you have is to properly discern the energies and know whether you're coming from a high place or a low place. A place that takes or a place that gives. And notice I didn't say receive, I said takes. Because authority wants to take. Servanthood is willing to receive. Huge difference. Huge difference. So these are the things that I'm pondering this morning. And I share them with you so that you can weigh them in your own heart and in your own soul. And see how it sets with you. What is your spirit saying to you? What is the Holy Spirit saying to you? What bears witness with you? Discern the spirits. Understand your resistance to whatever you're resisting. Look at it. Feel it. And analyze it. I know that's a bad thing sometimes. But go with the flow of your own guidance. Because you do have wisdom. And you do have discernment. And you have great power and authority to live your life. But it's not over others that you're given that authority. It's to take back your own power and to stand in your truth. And this is ninth wave, folks. This is the awakening. And I leave you with these thoughts this morning to ponder, to consider, and to weigh in your spirit. Thank you for listening. Namaste.